Well, praise the Lord, everybody. God bless you. Welcome to another Friday. And I hope you've had a wonderful week. It feels like fall is definitely in the air, and we're starting to get the wisps of holiday, yeah. And so for some, I know you really enjoy holidays. Maybe some of you don't, not so much, but nevertheless, we are here in the month of November. We've made it this far. God's been good to us all year long, yeah? Wow, because I know sometimes I got to serve the Lord, not day by day. Sometimes it's minute by minute. Lord, I need you this minute right now, God. Because, well, we know that life can really shovel it, yeah? And, but God is so great, you know? I always enjoy November just because, in my mind, I've always dedicated it to just being grateful. Even though I tend to be a very grateful person, every day. But I think just the idea of Thanksgiving and the eve of, Christmas, the December and winter months, and just what that entails, for some of us, it's memories of love and warmth and all of that. And I think, taking a month out to just, dedicate to being grateful and remembering, yeah. I talk a lot about not dwelling on the past, yeah. I used to be a past dweller. And really, maybe it's just because I'm so up in age that after a while, the past just really doesn't have much relevance anymore, or we just don't spend a whole lot of time in regret. On the contrary, it's more of a heart of gratitude and thanksgiving, thanking God that we do have another day of life, right? And I say that a lot. But that God has brought us so far. And before of dwelling on the past because my past failures or poor choices, now when I look back, it's to the victories, yeah? It's the trials that God has brought me through, the healing of heartbreak or betrayal. It's not of looking back in depression, but it's looking back in gratitude. And I know as, these months have gone by, right? We're in the 11th month now. What a good time to think back on the other 10 months, starting in January and just through on out. And, maybe it started off as a really rough year and then kind of evened out, or I don't know what your circumstance is, but I think we should just praise the Lord and thank Him because He's so good to us. And even in the most challenging of days, we could still say, I'm blessed. I'm blessed because God is with us and He loves us. And it's really a shame where, there are people that live their lives that don't know the grace of God or His peace, yeah? A peace that passes all understanding. And even ourselves as believers, as we struggle, as we are our minds are being renewed, right? Because that's what Romans 12 says, and even actually Colossians 3 says it. In this renewing of our mind, now we need to remember that, you know, we serve a God that is the all-powerful and the almighty. And now we belong to something, right? We belong to something that's bigger than us. Not just the church or our denomination, but to the God of the universe. We belong to that. And we could be grateful that we don't have to live destructive lives, or if we struggle with sins, addictions, it's not the end, because the Lord knows, right, what we are and who we are. And we could be saved and sanctified by the blood, but we're still human. And I'm just really grateful that, God helps us. But more so, God forgives us. I think it's actually just more than that. I think that he just knows us. When somebody knows you, it could be unnerving, but it's also a comfort, right? Significant other or a parent or a good friend, they just know what you like or what you want, and that's God. And so we have so much to be grateful for, beloveds. And I'd like to encourage you to, focus on that. Maybe every morning when you get up, and right there, that's a blessing, waking up. That maybe you could think of one or two things that you just like, Lord, I'm so grateful because you did this. I'm so grateful because you did that. I'm so grateful you've given us this. I'm so grateful you've taken that. What a great month for that. So God bless you, and I hope you're encouraged. I hope you're encouraged just by the thought that we serve a wonderful God who's so attentive to us that not even the slightest thing, right? Not even the loss of, he knows the loss of one hair. That's pretty dedicated and intimate with us. So let's rejoice, beloved. God bless you, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend.